Hi guys, welcome back to Canary Cast. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, because it really helps the channel out. Just me today, as you can see. Harvey and Jacob are off doing other stuff, but no worries. We will address the draw that Norwich picked up last night away at Brentford, which was brilliant, to be fair. Draw away at Brentford, one of the better teams in the league. Really solid performance. I don't think we created a load of clear-cut chances, and we'll get onto all of that later. But we did struggle through. It was a hard-fought point. We got a slice of luck in the end, but it's a draw away at Brentford. Happy days, to be fair. Right, let's go through the game. It's going to be a bit weird doing it on my own, but we will. I'll talk through the game, and then when we come to something that's worth talking about, we'll talk about it. So we had a late change to the starting 11, didn't we? And there was a little change to the starting 11 previous to that because Vrancic came in for Hugo. Hugo went up top. Vrancic was in the hole behind him in the 10, and then Skip and Rook behind him. I said to Jacob last week, does Brentford deserve to start now? He's scored 2 winners now against Borough and Wickham. Played really well, looked good when he's come on. He's only got sort of 10, 15 minutes here and there. Jacob said no because it wasn't the game for him, but Rupp and Skip obviously played anyway, and then he was in front, so I think it worked well. I thought he deserved to start. I think he's been brilliant the last 2, 3 weeks, and he was really good, to be fair, throughout the whole thing. He had created chances. He had that shot first half that just went past the keeper's left hand post, and generally looked creative force as he normally does. To be fair, the only other change we had a late change. Quintia, he had a little niggle anyway, and then in the warm up, obviously felt it go or something. So Jacob Sorensen comes in for his debut at left back with about half an hour heads up. So fair play to him because he had a really good game. I did think maybe Gibson would slide to the left with being left-footed and Sorensen would play in the middle, but I suppose Daniel Farke didn't want to disrupt the Grant Hanley-Gibson pairing. That is still, it's looking good, but there's still work to be done there, so I guess he didn't want to disrupt that. So Sorensen comes in at left back, and to be honest, for a debut, he looked really good. He's obviously quite right-footed. He wasn't really using his left that much. He was cutting inside, but it was a really solid debut, but especially when you consider he was up against Brian Mbeumo, who's one of the better players at this level for my money. But no, I thought he was really solid, dealt with the expectation and being thrown in at the deep end, dealt with that really well, I thought. And even starts the game. Both teams started really well, to be fair. Both teams were pressing from the off as well, both up in each other's grills, if you like. Um, we we did look pretty good playing around Brentford's pass pressing, to be honest. It wasn't sensational, but it was good. Like we were just playing out from the back. Tim Krul at times, a few ropey passes, but we'll leave that there. And the whole defence looked assured on the ball. We were able to pass it out, Skip drops deep like he does, and just play around it. And there were a few sort of long diagonal balls up to sort of the halfway line, but wide on the halfway line. And we were able to keep possession in these tight little triangles and everything. And it was really good, to be honest. I was really encouraged by how we started the game. Like I said, Brentford started well as well. The first real chance of note, the Buendia chance when he breaks from midfield, cuts inside, back onto his right foot, and the keeper did get a touch on it, but I think it was going over anyway. He scarred it, to be honest. Buendia had another good game last night. His free kick delivery was really good at times. Those sort of in swingers with his right foot where Mario can't get a shot off. He was taking them and bending them in. He put it on Hanley's head. He put it on Gibson's head. They both probably should have done better. In fairness, Emmy's delivery was brilliant, but in this particular moment, he just blazed it over the bar. And this is the bit of Emmy's game that we know needs work. I think that's probably the bit of Emmy's game that has resulted in him not moving this summer. I think he does need to work on that, get his numbers up. And if he can grab 10 goals this season, or even 8 goals, I think a Premier League team, if we don't go, I'll probably be looking at that and think, yeah, I'll take that. We can improve on that. Anyway, Wendy had a good game, but should have done better there. Possibly could have squared it, but he had quite a lot of pressure from the Brentford defenders. Then Ivan Toney pops up unmarked at the far post, basically. Norwich, it's our own throw in, goes to Cantwell. Cantwell plays it inside, it's intercepted. Brentford then break on us. Mbeumo gets to the byline, pulls the cross back, and Tony's there, just unmarked at the far post, which was the first real and only moment that Brentford cut us open. it was difficult for the centre halves because they're both facing sort of out towards the cross, and Tony snuck in far post, and obviously you've got to manage that, and they've got to talk to each other and stuff like that. But it was disappointing because it's the only real moment they got him. Um, yeah, it was kind of sloppy. It was on Sorensen's side, but Skip had got back to cover and didn't quite block the cross coming in. It was just a bit sloppy, I suppose. Like it wasn't the greatest moment, but we then the biggest problem with Norwich conceding at the minute is that it knocks the confidence, and like Brentford grew in confidence to be fair, but I think Norwich also looked a bit diminished, and I think that was the case against Wickham as well. Like we played really well first 10, 15 minutes, and then they get a goal back, and you think, and they we just look a bit lethargic and low on confidence and stuff. But I have to say, after about 5, 10 minutes after they scored, we got back into it. The last 5 minutes of the first half, we were in the ascendancy again. We got over their goal quicker than we did against Wickham, which was always good to see. Yes, the Ivan Tony header. Cross comes in, Tony gets up. He's quite good in the air, actually. I know he's sort of a poacher and he's quite quick, but I didn't realise he was so good in the air. And to be fair to him, he had a good game last night, Ivan Tony. In this particular moment, he heads it and the cross is the ball is sort of curling towards the far post. And Tim Krul gets down to his right hand side low and makes a really good save, like a really cracking save. Pushes it wide enough so that the rebound goes into the side netting. That's as good as a goal. He's done that twice last night. He done it from close range again later on in the game. Tim Krul kept us in the game in those two moments particularly. Yeah, like I said, strong finish from Norwich. Last 5 minutes of the first half. That's where Hanley puts his header over the bar. That should definitely go on target and should probably go in the back of the net. To be honest, if I'm being harsh. So 1-0 at half time. We had a half-time sub. I can't remember the last time Daniel Farke had done that unless it was an injury. Cantwell came off. He was okay first half. Didn't do anything amazing. Didn't do anything particularly bad. No, he gave it away for the goal, but he wasn't dreadful. But Daniel Farke hooked him off, and if anyone was going to go off, it probably would have been Todd. Poeta comes on. We're looking to exploit his pace down the left. Um, in truth, didn't really do a lot, to be honest with you. But it was nice to see a bit of, Daniel Farke being proactive and making a half-time sub. But yeah, the good thing was that Norwich came out for the second half and they picked up where they left off. There wasn't any sort of Brentford went in the ascendancy shortly after half time. We were still in control of the game, and it was good to see. Um, After about an hour, I remember thinking, we're on top here. We've been on top for most of this, and we just haven't created those clear cut chances. Like Ivan Tony at the far post, we had none of them, obviously. We had chances, but no clear cut chances when you think that's got to be a goal. Um, yes, 69 minutes. The double substitution. So this is all our subs made before the 70 minute, which is remarkable for Daniel Farke's side, but fair play to him. I know I always talk about subs. I know I always drag it up. It probably gets a bit boring, but it was nice to see him make it all before the 70 minutes. The subs were Rook and Skip off, Kenny and Hugo on. Um, the subs could have been tactical because none of those players were playing really well. But I also think rotation has to come into it at the minute. We're in a really busy period. That's not really going to let up before Christmas. I think Daniel Farke needs to keep this team fresh. Doesn't want any sort of laggy legs and stuff like that. It will come at some point, but I think he is just trying to manage that as best he can. Um, yeah, the long throws. Mads Sorensen, their centre half, really long throw on him. Um, I actually, considering it was Norwich and considering these are set pieces, I actually think we dealt quite well with them. It wasn't like a flat bullet throw; it was quite a high loop throw, which I suppose is even harder to deal with for the defenders. But we just about dealt with them, to be fair, and actually probably looked the best from set pieces that we have so far this season. I thought, which is it's always been a problem for us, so that is really encouraging. I don't think we'll ever be amazing at them, but if we can improve on that and improve our defensive record, then I don't see why we can't achieve what we're set out to achieve. Um, Towards the end of the game, we went three centre backs: Hanley, Gibson, and Sorensen, and then uh, Max was really high, and who's on the other side? Can't remember now, but anyway, the wing backs were high, and we were playing three at the back, and I don't know if it had a really big outcome on the game. I suppose we had a lot more players up further up the pitch, and when the goal did come, it was quite congested. But then I don't think it really made a difference to the goal itself. But yeah, no, we did go through at the back, but I'm not sure it made much difference. Gibson got another yellow card, and another harsh one. That's 2 in 2 weeks for Gibson. Not that it's a problem, but he didn't deserve either of them, to be honest. I mean, he got the ball against Wickham. Last night's was harsh, really harsh. The ref was a bit soft at times, I thought. But there you go, Championship refs. Another Emmy free kick, another header that should go on target. And then literally a minute later, he does another one. Emmy is getting good at that sort of whip delivery with his right foot around the back of the defence. It's a shame we didn't take him really, because I think probably Hanley and Gibson will think they probably should have scored last night. And in the Gibson case, Branchich was just waiting behind him. He could have tapped it in. So yeah, we need to work on them. But it was a lot better on set pieces from Norwich, considering this is the Norwich team. And then the goal. We huffed and puffed all game. We had the lion's share of possession. We did look good. We were in the ascendancy for about an hour of the game overall. It was really good. And then we get our bit of our slice of luck at the end. Kenny just hits a shot. It's never going in. It's actually going wide at the near post. Deflects off, I think it was Mad Sorensen. Keeper's wrong footed. He's already gone the other way. Trundles in the other way, of course. Just about gets over the line whilst the keeper's on the floor. Who cares, basically? It's a point away. We probably deserved a draw on reflection throughout the whole game. And yeah, it, it was a bit of a rubbish goal, but it was deserved, to be honest. We kept working. Daniel Farke was proactive in his subs. I know Tim Krul kept us in it. He made 2 brilliant saves. I know we didn't create that many clear-cut chances, but we kept going. It was a hard-fought point. And we brought a point home from Brentford, one of the better teams in the league. I think this is really encouraging. We've got a set of fixtures now that is very Championship. It's very difficult. Bristol City, Millwall, Swansea, Borough. These are going to be tough games, and I think it's a really positive start to a tougher run in the schedule or the fixture list. But yeah, that was what happened. I'm really pleased about it. I'm really upbeat. I think that's a really good point. Don't know hopefully that's come across. Jacob and Harvey will probably feel a bit differently about it, and hopefully we'll get a comment from them at some point. But yeah, I think we've covered everything there. Been very weird doing it on my own. Shout out to everyone who does it on their own each week, because it's actually quite hard. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let us know what you thought of the game. Were we lucky? Was it deserved? All that sort of stuff. Let us know in the comments. And until next time, which will be some sort of Bristol City preview, we'll see you then.